Ah,
Wow. Top.
all right, guys. So we are now recording our meeting. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and just get things started. Bree, did you want to introduce your replacement?
Cool. So, starting this quarter, Gwen will be my associate. We kind of have the same job posting, but as of the end of spring quarter, she will be the official engineering lab tech. Gwen, say hi.
Hey guys, I am super excited.
Yes.
That's my full introduction.
Cool. Yeah, so she and I this quarter, as far as lab tech jobs go, we are doing 3D printing from home. So we each have access to one of the TASs. So if we do need to do 3D printing, it'll be a lot easier now. Actually. Um, then getting into the lab will be kind of tricky this quarter. But we will have 48 hours notice if somebody does get into the lab. As far as getting supplies for this quarter for DYNAMO and such, there will be 48 hours notice of an opportunity to request supplies, and then you may request supplies for a dead drop, essentially. Um, yeah, that's kind of how that's gonna work. Yeah.
Later in the quarter, do you imagine that we'll be able to have students on campus, or is it only going to be staff?
So as of right now, May 10th is the opening date for the buildings as far as the staff emails go. That said, it could be pushed out. I don't know. It depends on the governor. It depends on the school. That May 10th was already pushed out from the April 27th initial deadline based on the governor's initial stay home, stay safe deadline. So, if things get pushed out, they get pushed out.
I
As it
think May
is,
10th is when they're just reevaluating.
well, no, that's what the date that they've reevaluated for based on the current information.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, there was an email a while ago in the staff emails that talked about it.
I've been trying to
Um,
catch up on those.
Yeah. That said, it could easily be pushed out depending on the status as far as the COVID-19 situation in Washington State. So I would not count on it. And as far as Project Dynamo goes, I feel that the team leads and such have a good handle on alternatives in case we aren't able to truly get into the building. But it will be slower, and a lot of things have been sacrificed or will be sacrificed in that name. We are still looking at potentially launching in June. I don't. If the school is able to open in May, we will definitely be able to launch in June, assuming they are having launches. Austin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that NAR said no more launches until
A
a
new
date.
word will be coming out from NAR on April 15th, and they will further update on the status of allowing launches. So, more than likely, though, they will be extending that deadline to not allowing any launches or any events with greater than 10 people in attendance. All right. All right, Bree, is that all you had on that?
I believe so. I assume questions will come up, and we will be able to address them as they come up.
Alrighty. Moving on to actually, Gwen, did you have any questions for us while you're here? So that way you don't have to sit through our whole meeting if you don't want.
Yeah, I figured I'd just awkwardly lurk. I'm really excited to join you guys. So if that's all right, I'll just tune in.
Absolutely. That's yeah.
Sweet, thank you.
All right. So I guess the next so just a quick update on Dynamo for everyone. Currently we have ordered the vast bulk of all our materials and everything we'll be needing. There is a handful of wish list items like our canopies, tables, generator, and some like Dremel bits and some just other tools and items that we don't have in our possession. We would like to order, but currently we didn't get that ordered in time for the April 1st deadline. So Will is currently seeking out permission to try and continue ordering. But everything else for Dynamo is ordered and is on the way or has already arrived. And also level 1 motors have also arrived and been have arrived. There's also, Will said that he got the school or STEM to pay for pretty much a fire cabinet, explosives cabinet for us to store our motors in, because he pretty much told the school, hey, I got a bunch of rocket motors just sitting in my office. Maybe we should do something about that. And then we'll also have a traveling magazine for us to transport motors to and from launch sites. And then on storage, we'll pretty much there is stuff in surplus, but there's no one able to deliver it, so that will have to be tabled until we are able to get back on campus, or maybe if Bree can work out a time with Will to be able to go look at storage and see those things that are there and try and just call dibs on something.
The problem with that is the social distancing factor, because that would require that James, the surplus guy, Will, and I are all in the same. Admittedly, it's a warehouse, but it's a warehouse with tight corners, and the school is seriously discouraging stuff like that right now. That would be much more feasible after the, I'm just gonna say it, May 10th reopening. And I think it's reasonable to start working off of that May 10th opening based on the latest announcement from the governor saying that we are succeeding at leveling the curve on par with that deadline.
Okay. Cool. I guess next is going to be, so the summer camp. Emailed Will about that, and we are so the camp is canceled, so we will not be running the camp. But Bree and I talked briefly before the meeting started, and we do want to continue developing the curriculum for that camp. So eventually we will be able to run a camp, whether it be with us or some people that come after us. We want to be able to have everything ready. So somewhere along in the quarter in the next few weeks, we'll start getting that group back together that was working on the camp and start progressing the curriculum again, because we do have we have a good foundation that Bree made up. Now we just need to fill it in with material.
Plus, there's always the Girl Scout option.
Yes.
Yes.
Though that might also have to be pushed off until groups larger than 10 can be in a room at the same time with each other.
Yeah, but that one's more ad hoc. So whenever that restriction gets lifted, we can say, all right, any troops wanting to do a rocket camp?
Most certainly. And that can also feed into more prototyping efforts, which will probably be better for the camp as a whole to begin with.
Yeah.
We can also pick and pull parts of the entire curriculum for outreach events and just like small groups and other things like that.
The material is definitely worth the effort, and we will never get a better chance to sit down and work on documentation than quarantine.
Yes, I agree. Guess on documentation a little bit. So we did our NAR section. For those of you who weren't here during that conversation last week, it will be the Washington Academic Rocketry Network is going to be the name of the NAR section. We are currently working on modifying our club logo to work for that and working out details with Will. So hopefully soon we'll be able to we will be able to conduct our own level 2 testing and expand that rabbit hole as more things become available and we have more resources at our disposal. And then now the fun project that I'm excited about is the podcast. So last week or the week before, I used Bree, Sebastian, and Anna as guinea pigs, and we recorded about a minute of audio. I made up an intro, an exit, and pretty much just made up a sample minute and a half podcast, and it looks pretty good. So right now we're using a bot to record our meeting. We're going to be using the same bot to pretty much record our podcast sessions at the moment, because just given resources, Discord is going to be our best way to do it. So we'll probably have another channel to do podcast things on, or we'll figure that out. But pretty much right now, we just want to. I would like to come up help. I would like to select the name for said podcast, and then also come up with a list of topics, and then some people that would be willing to speak to those topics. So initially, it will be rocketry related, and we will talk about rocketry related stuff. But to start off, to gather an audience, I think the best option is going to be to discuss just generally aerospace things. So NASA, SpaceX, just stuff like that that will grab an audience and get people's attention. And then once we have them, then we can start talking about more club stuff. So we're doing the primary way of this, the primary goal of this is recruitment. So that way we can be still recruiting and getting our name out there, even though we can't physically be out doing anything. So let me try and get a live stream up with the current suggestions that were put in for the naming.
I can run topic idea note taking.
Okay. There is a podcast folder in the officers folder.
I saw that. I got the.
Okay. All right, so it doesn't look like the live stream was going to work, so I just posted a link to the Google Doc in the announcements. So if you guys want to hop on that and take a look at what was submitted from the Google form that I put out the other day.
Looks like we have several different forms of rocket talk.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a rocket talk exactly put down twice. Rocket therapy, it's not rocket science. There was a fun one. Where was it?
Space time.
Space time.
Rocking it remote.
I like that one.
I do like that one.
I like that one. I like it's not rocket science. Elon's Musk.
That's a good chuckle.
Right.
If anybody is saying something and can't be heard, check your Discord mute setting or just type into the conversations channel.
Is anyone there?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
looking at it.
okay.
Logan's
okay.
here. Okay.
What do you think, Logan?
My favorite's rocket therapy. It doesn't sound too plain, but at the same time, it doesn't sound overly, I don't know, clicky. I think we want to avoid something like Elon's Musk.
I agree for the same reason that we vetoed your motor mounty suggestions.
Well, no, that's completely different because that's funny and everyone should appreciate that. Where I don't want us to be another SpaceX fanboy and girl.
Yeah.
Alright,
I like
Elon
the
Musk is
implication
out.
that I do like the implication from rocket therapy that this is kind of like a getaway sort of space for people.
It's casual too.
Yeah,
It's casual.
a
It
safe
appeals
space.
to the youth.
Here we are just mind gaming people. All right.
So we have, rocket therapy.
Rocket
guess
therapy
which
has
other
been
one-
seconded.
All right, I'll bold. I guess I'll bold it. I guess what else are like our favorites? Like what are the top 3 everyone likes? I guess. So Team Rocket. Is anyone feeling strongly for Team Rocket? Looks like a no.
Eh.
You can get a verbal no if you want.
I mean, I'll take silence as a no. So
Yeah.
Well, as far as nose go,
Those guys.
my understanding is that Rocket Lads might not meet certain how do you say
Diversity requirements.
Diversity,
yes,
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I agree with that one.
There's also already a Rocket Lads.
Well, then that's out on 2 grounds. EDCC Rocketry podcast, like
Rocket Therapy is not taken.
yeah. I would say we ditch the Rocketry podcast. I think we can come up with like our logo is already going to be thrown around and out. So I think like they already know where it's coming from, and we'll have like whoever's the moderator will be like, this is for Rocketry. So I think we can ditch that because it's not very.
I mean, we can always say it's hosted by the EDCC Rocketry Society
Yeah,
and
but
get
like
our
that
name
shouldn't
out.
be that shouldn't be like the name of the podcast though.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I
But-
make a quick side note here? In this document, I see an anonymous dingo and an anonymous squirrel. That means we have 2 people logged in, not with their EDCC email, which is
So that's because I made this. Anyone with the link can see it. So
Yeah, I
that way,
know.
so only people on the Discord would be able to have the link.
yes. But if they're interacting with our documents at all, and really a practice as an EDCC
School
student.
policy is to use your school edmail for all school interactions.
Okay. Well, I'll change the permissions real quick. And for those of you that aren't signed in, let's get you guys signed in.
Sorry, I think
Oh.
I'm on my staff and not my student one. I will switch over.
Yeah, if you change it to all EDCC with the link, it actually blocks staff from using it. So
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. My bad.
Okay.
I have to be careful about that too, Gwen.
Anyone at Edmonds Community College with the link can have access. Okay. I think
That's what I'm
should
saying.
fix it.
That one will block some staff because they're not edmail, they're email.edcc.
So what should I set the permission?
I was just saying anyone that is not logged
This is
into
a
an
student-driven
official-
thing. Let's just make it
Yeah.
edmails. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll
I just
forward
switched to
this to
mine.
Will after the fact. Thank you, Gwen.
Okay. Cool. Rocket Talk, Space Time, like FaceTime. I feel like Space Time is more particularly just like space related, which we're not really like. I mean, sure sure that'll probably come up, but it's not the sole purpose.
There's also PBS Space Time, which is a
I don't
pretty
think
big
we-
channel.
I don't
Oh,
think I don't think we're against going into like more physicsy topics that have to do with astrophysics and such.
yeah.
Especially with Will's background.
But if Logan's saying Space Time's already a
But-
thing,
Well, it's specifically PBS Space Time, but there could be some confusion there.
mm-hmm. So I think we can also maybe ditch. So I'll just throw that. I'll just keep.
There's
that
also
for
the
moment.
which might.
There's also what?
It looks like space time's kind of already taken.
Okay.
Let me also look up a bunch of these. Oh,
Okay.
that's probably not taken.
U Rocket is probably not a very. I don't know. Does anyone have any opinions about keeping U Rocket?
I'd be willing to blackball that one.
I second.
I think we have better options, though a vote would be the true determination for that.
Does anyone want to keep U Rocket? In the
I mean, if not
considerations?
you rocket, what about like Let's Rocket? You
Let's
know, like,
Rocket.
Let's Rocket.
I kind of like that. Let's Rocket. I'll keep
U
it.
Rock-
Rocket
it's
is
kinda
already a
cute.
YouTube channel.
Well then, how about Let's Rocket?
A t-shirt designer has that.
A
Oh
big
no, that's
t-shirt
just a
designer?
tagline on a t-shirt. Hold on.
They've already made our branding.
There is a whole line of like t-shirts and stuff with this. It might be trademarked already.
Hmm.
Um,
Just because it's a good idea.
It is a good idea, and that's
It
the
is a good
problem.
idea. Someone just had a good idea before you did.
It's a song title.
Okay.
By
Uh,
who?
Disney.
That's either good or bad.
DJ Melody's Miles from Tomorrowland. On Disney Junior. It's like,
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So is Let's Rock It Out on the basis of it already exists?
It seems niche enough that it would be okay as far as stepping on other communities' toes. Because I don't think Disney is known for suing people, but this is completely different than a song title.
Yeah, and we're not profiting off of it. It's not. Yeah, we're not making money off of it
True.
unless we monetize our YouTube channel,
I mean, fundraising is fundraising.
which I'm sure we would love to start that conversation.
Another time.
All right, we'll keep Let's Rock It. We already have. So there's Rock Talk and there's Rocket Talk. I feel like Rock Talk would be like a geology thing.
Sure. It's also already a thing.
Rock Talk? Or
Is it
Rocket Talk?
geology?
No, it's
Music, probably.
Oh.
Okay, so Rock Talk
and
already.
the Rocket Talk is also already a thing on several different platforms.
Okay. Then we'll scoot those guys out.
This trajectory is fine as far
Okay.
as my area of things.
Okay. How about a mind in hyperdrive? It has a fun little ring to it. Also throws in a bit of science fiction, I suppose. That's at least what like the impression I get.
It sounds science fiction centric. Like someone would go to that channel to thinking they're going to listen to some argument between Star Wars and Star Trek. Like, oh wait, they're talking about model rockets. I'm out.
I mean, we could talk about Star Wars and Star Trek.
We could, but I'm
Just
saying then that name sounds like it's sci-fi centric. Like
Mhm.
we're going to be talking fiction.
That's true. Which isn't that won't be the main conversation. All right. Is anyone in favor of keeping a mind in hyperdrive? Just say I. Okay. So I'm gonna remove that one. So this is trajectory, or this trajectory is good, Bree.
This trajectory is generically fine
Okay.
because most of the Google results on it are just using it in a sentence, like why this trajectory is fine, or etc.
Yeah. Okay. And then it's okay. And rocket therapy is good.
A mind in hyperdrive. Into the mind hyperdrive is a song. I don't know if that, like, Into the Mind by Hyperdrive. Is that, I think that's fine. I just wanted to mention it.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
No one
It's
really.
not
No
rocket
one
science.
liked
It's
it.
100% taken, by the way.
Is it? It is.
Yeah, that's a British TV show.
Oh, well then that's out. Okay. Which sucks, but yeah. Okay. Rockin' It Remote. I still like Rockin' It Remote. Let's Rock It. I think did we want to keep that one, or did we deem that the what's already been done is substantial enough? Or was that the Disney? That was the Disney one, wasn't it?
No. That's the tagline one. Like that's already a full tagline and such.
Okay. Then I would say let's not go with that one.
There's even
then.
a fan Facebook page for it.
Then yeah, because if we want to create a base for our own thing with our own name, probably using that isn't the best idea. Okay, bye, let's rocket. And then rocket launch is just a normal thing. Okay, so we have our, let's do 4 options. All right. Do we want to vote on all 4? So like everyone gets like 2 votes. We get it down to 2, and then everyone gets 1 vote. And we vote on 1. I mean, how many people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, with 4 options.
So a round of put your name under 2 of them, and then. Go from
Yeah.
there.
So, I guess put an X in the column underneath, in the row underneath the 2 names that you like.
Everyone's gonna put an X.
Yeah, so put an X under the 2 that you like.
People only have viewing permissions, not editing permissions, unless they're officers.
Well, then that's an issue. Well, it says everyone at EDCC. No, everyone at EDCC with link can edit.
Okay.
Everyone should be able to edit. All right, so go ahead and put an X under the 2 names that you like.
Well, this isn't gonna get messy.
Okay, I
Is this
don't
gonna
want
be
to.
anonymous.
No. Does anyone strongly
God.
feel that they want it to be anonymous?
Yeah, unless
Here.
someone wants to be anonymous, I think we should just write our names or have our own letter, so we're not erasing each other's X's.
Let's just do our. I guess let's do our names then.
Okay.
This is messy, but I'm just gonna wait.
Yes, make sure your names aren't bolded.
Wouldn't want you to have a more important name than other people. Really, Austin?
Hold on, I need to fix something.
Oh my god. Hey, Logan. Logan. Okay. All right. This is. It looks like everybody has placed their names down. If
Well, this was my
everybody,
mistake.
let's say 10 more seconds to place your name in. However typeface you want it, I guess.
Bryce.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? That color just seems to match your personality.
Sorry, Brie,
for
I
whatever.
couldn't make a new row.
I got
there
you,
we go.
May.
Okay,
Actually-
everyone out of the table. Like, move your cursor out of the table. Thank you, Anna and Bryce and Ben. Okay. So the 2 are Rocket Therapy and Rockin' It Remote. So we're gonna go ahead and delete the other 2. Nope, don't insert. Okay, so we're gonna start fresh here. Go ahead and put your name down under the 1 that you like. Subtle, Anna.
Subtle Austin.
Hey, I'm not shouting out. I don't have any bright yellow colors or anything obnoxious like that.
I didn't do anything on the first one, so I
Fair
like
enough.
the cursive font. That's a nice font.
I can't read Anna's with the yellow font.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm starting like a 30-second timer.
Yep, that's
Y'all
what I
have
was
30
about to
seconds
say.
to finish.
Although it seems like we already know which one has.
Yeah, formalities. Ten seconds left.
We could have just placed our cursor for this one.
Technically.
That's a. Yeah. Oh, well,
Alright.
that's no fun.
Voting has closed.
All right. Rocket Therapy is the new name of the official EDCC Rocketry Society podcast.
Woo!
Yay.
Let's talk about topic ideas.
You guys need to calm down. You sound so excited about that being our name.
Did
Okay.
you just tell us to calm down?
I told you all to calm down. Okay. In the same folder, Bree.
Yeah.
Actually, here, I'm just going to share this document now. All right. Link to podcast ideas.
It's not in the podcast folder, by the way.
Yes,
Like
it
whatever
is.
you're looking at. No, it's not.
The podcast topic ideas.
The one I started?
You're on the document right now.
Yeah, okay. So the one I started.
I thought I did that one.
You're cute.
I'm confused.
Yeah, that's mine.
Anyway, if y'all want to hop on the document that just got sent out with the announcements, we'll discuss we'll discuss ideas that we have for the podcast.
Alright.
And then everyone should have permissions now.
Make sure you're in your student account once again.
Yes. So I guess.
Cool. Feel free to add any
Yeah. So just go ahead and
topics you
throw.
have.
Yeah. So any. Yeah.
Try to keep them all in the far left-hand column, please. The other columns have other uses. Far left-hand column, Austin.
I can follow directions.
I'm
I
sure.
had to request permission. I think I'm logged into the right one.
Should be
people-
everybody. Whatever. I'll just give you permission.
Sorry about that.
No, it's chill.
We don't have the most foolproof file sharing system.
No, we don't.
Sure.
We really don't.
I mean, it works, but when we try and do group activities, it doesn't.
A little more difficult.
It falls apart pretty quick.
I mean, it works for myself and I.
You, yourself, and I.
Me, myself,
Were you
and I.
able to get in yet?
It still says you need permission,
What?
Great.
but I hit request access. I don't know who that
That
went
should
to.
send somebody an email. I'm refreshing my emails as I speak.
It's not the Rocketry one.
Okay, here we go. I got a lot of shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake.
I'm drowning in tabs again. There we are.
Yes. Why does it? Oh, it's because I'm in my staff account. All right. Let me just.
I got in. Thank you. You did something.
Anyone with the link can view, save. All right, there you go. Try that, peeps.
Anyone with link can edit.
Oh, that's right. I have to do the thing.
Okay. Pros and cons.
It's thinking about it. Okay, anyone with the link can edit. Try that.
Nope.
Awesome.
Yep. Don't worry about it. Never mind.
Okay.
I just want the font to be the same.
No, it's a title.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. Wait, I thought we had it. We have a header.
We do, but this is just an idea file. Until I turn it into actual something. Yeah.
I mean, records are nice for whoever comes after us. Okay. All right. Anyone else have any ideas? Just anything rocketry related, aerospace related, space, science, engineering, just things that relate to a degree.
Well, this isn't a vote on thing other than maybe which one we do first. We just need to populate this list.
Basically,
right?
yeah.
We need to fill this list. Yeah. I mean, if there, yeah.
And that's why I'm adding these headers more for yeah.
Who's the anonymous panda?
I don't know. I'm ignoring it. It'll be fine.
All right. Asteroid moon.
Would there be interest in like orbital debris mitigation? Because that's something I'm researching now.
Absolutely.
Yes. Go ahead and toss it in there. I want to do like a live. Here we go.
Ooh, we could also talk about, I did a couple of NASA programs with their STEM outreach, and I've been meaning to like tell more people about them. Would that be
Absolutely.
something? Cool.
So, I mean, some of the podcasts, I mean, we can keep them short. I want to keep them relatively short to begin with. Maybe like, I don't know what a short podcast would be, like 10, 15 minutes, but 15. Okay. We can keep them at like 15. I mean, we can do shorter. We can eventually do longer, but yeah. I mean, if we can record a whole bunch in a short time period and schedule release dates.
Yep.
Because editing these really shouldn't take too long.
Yep. Yeah.
Ooh, NAR versus Tripoli.
That's not quite an argument. That's not quite a conversation.
I mean, there's just, you can lay out the facts, and I know some people strongly believe in one versus the other.
Fair.
Like when I first did my junior level one, oh so long ago, like the Shirky, the person who mentored me, was like very like NAR. Don't even think about Tripoli.
Yeah, but is that a blind decision or not?
Exactly, which could be a discussion of
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, this is just getting the simple ideas. I mean, we can get out the details later.
Yeah.
Let's see. We could talk about
speaking on any of these, put their names down.
Okay.
So if you have any strong opinions, want to be a part of any of these as a speaker, go ahead and put your name in the speakers column. Thank you, Gwen.
I'm excited. Shut up. Also, the orbital debris mitigation would be better if it's just before space law, just because those like intertwine a lot. I don't know if that's important, but
Oh, fair.
or like in the same podcast.
Fair.
Okay. We could do like a 2-part podcast.
Ooh, that'd be so cool.
We have to make them come back.
Yeah.
Which actually, Bree, I don't know how you want this document organized because you seem to have a system, but like if we could put something at the bottom so we could put down ideas for means to send the podcast out once it's created. So which social media accounts do we want to like, hey, can you give us a like share this link and things like that? Advertising, yeah.
So I think like we could do a full podcast for NASA programs for students, but after we do that podcast, I think we can also refer people to that podcast for information and provide updates during future podcasts, sort of a thing. So we can advertise for things like local rocket launches, et cetera, which might encourage groups to be friendly to us if we promote them. I don't know. One consideration might be like, hey, do we want to piss off Tripoli or NAR by ditching them? I like Austin's suggestion to really just present the facts when it comes to certain things, but that will be a consideration of like, obviously the speakers aren't necessarily speaking for the entire club. They are just selected opinions of the club who are interested in speaking on these topics. That said, how do we make sure that that information gets out? That idea, that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one thing is also, I mean, the primary target, I guess, for this would be college students, and then Logan brought up potential members in the high school students would be really good because if we can make it around that level. I mean, but I mean, we could also, if we can try and get people to just generally interested rocketry folk, because the rocketry community is huge online. So there's
fanatic.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have, I don't know how many actually of you use Facebook, but the NAR Facebook group is an interesting place. And no, it has a lot of
there's a lot of strong people on there.
There's a lot of big personalities, but there's also a lot of good information and a huge knowledge base. So YouTube post video, Discord announcement. There's the Edmonds School District, and then the Mount Lake Terrace High School Instagrams, which I know are frequently used by students. There is the NAR group. There's the EDCC.
We do have to be careful about advertising to children, especially if we do use college level language at all in our podcast, just because of the YouTube issues. If we do purposely gear these towards people who are not necessarily of age, then that is a legal consideration that we should take into account.
Okay.
You mean for anything other than just informative, as in if there is
even informative things, like we aren't a big channel, but if we ever do become a big channel, that could come back to bite us. Especially since we don't have the resources to hire a lawyer to, dispute things.
Yeah.
Put out a Will's P card.
Yeah, Will will be putting his P card on.
We're becoming too comfortable using Will's
the P card.
card.
Yeah. Plus, he still has to ask forgiveness, and honestly, we should just be careful about that. If we put stuff on our Instagram, and high school students find it, that's one thing. But if we actively advertise to high school students, that is something completely different.
Okay.
And if we are gearing this towards high school students to encourage that, that is the same category.
Okay. I was just going off what Logan said on the idea of trying to recruit like the running start students and the prospective students to the college.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that if we put forth things that are interesting to our club members, then the people who end up in our club or who would go into our club would be interested. Like, if we put forth the things that we are interested in, then that in and of itself should be recruitment.
I agree.
So basically, this channel is just we create content for the channel. It's informative in its own right. But for recruitment to the high schools, we go through the official channels, like school district.
Essentially. And like if high school students say at the WASAC conference, ask like, hey, we can advertise it at WASAC.
Mhm.
And just be like, hey, we, do this podcast, or we can advertise it on our Facebook, on our Discord, etc. We can send local Rocketry groups links. We just can't be specifically zeroing in on high schoolers with those promotions, because that's when it gets sketchy.
But we can use the college to promote to the college.
Yes, we can definitely promote to new incoming college students. We can promote and try to garner membership, especially within the Canvas page. Once we get a couple of videos out, we can ask Will to post in the all engineering students like, hey, there's these podcasts out. They've got some decent quality. They're very informative. If you have some free time and you want to kill some time, check it out. That I think is going to be our best recruitment from this.
I agree.
Actively. That said, passively, if Austin tells his friends who are still at Montlake Terrace about it, casually, and they watch it, that is not necessarily on us.
If
We are
private
putting,
individuals share the link.
yeah, and I'm not saying Austin go do that. I'm saying
No, I
if
hear
somebody
ya.
mentions it to somebody because they're genuinely interested in something, that is not on the podcast.
Yeah. All right. So for Instagram, we can also send it to the college Instagram too, because I know that is followed by a lot of students, as well as our own.
We can try. I don't know how much the college Instagram wants to promote us. The STEM department I know has its own Instagram that never gets posted on, and nobody really follows, so that might not be a thing.
Because EDC STEM has 271 people.
That's cute.
And then EDCC,
college.
Yeah.
I also still have access to the Discords from the NASA programs, and they stacked, so they'd give the same link to every season of it or whatever. So there are a lot of people in there.
Okay.
I can just post it in all of those.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do that, that would be great.
Yeah, people post stuff like that all the time.
It would be nice to get a couple of good quality things out first before we really.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
But I like that. I like that very much.
I guarantee you, every member of those groups are interested in this sort of thing.
Yes.
And then once we have more, we can also hit the NAR resources on the local mailing lists for Rocketry stuff. But
I'm sure Dale would be interested if we passed this along to him. And I do want to pull in interviews with local NAR people.
Yep. So I mean that can go. So that was another thing for today is if we use some kind of live stream type thing, so we can live stream it with someone. Because I think we'd have to find a little better way to do it. Because I think using Discord is a little for trying to get outside people in.
Oh yeah. That would be something that we would probably just do as a live stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
And from there, it just goes straight onto the YouTube channel if we choose to.
Yeah. Well, that's what I should add. I'll add to the end of the podcast videos, follow us on Instagram for more info. Updates
I mean, you can add, subscribe, like, and comment. Everybody does it these days. It's not weird at all.
We'll start off with the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
No, do it at the end. I'm okay with it if it's at the end, because I've already watched the video and I've made it to the end, so, by then it's a good recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One person who did express a lot of interest in being a part of the podcast was Cash. And so we will definitely need to reach out to him before making any decisions on this, I believe. Yeah, but I think what we're going to do is contact the people who are interested in being speakers for each of these and try to set up a timeline and a date for each of these. as far as recording goes, and then of course as release goes.
If we can, I know this next week is the start of the quarter though.
Correct. Though with classes being asynchronous,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I do think that we want to get a couple of these recorded this weekend, if at all possible. I'm up for recording this weekend. Logan, you mentioned earlier that you would be up for recording, though your timing is a little off, iffy.
Maybe Sunday.
Okay. We'll take that into account. Gwen, would you be interested in recording this weekend?
I can do that, yeah.
Okay, Bryce, what about you? Bryce is AWOL. We'll reach out to him if he doesn't fix his mic. Yeah.
I'm also available.
You were the last one I was gonna ask. Okay. So I think Austin and I will take care of reaching out to that.
Yeah.
And trying to schedule that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
So we have
yes,
the
Logan.
speakers, but is there going to be a official host?
Yes.
And that's like always there.
So
I think Austin
there
and
should
I
be.
will do it. Or we'll find somebody else to do it. I can add in another column.
I think there should be
for
a couple
host.
people that are rotated for hosts, just for the sake of, just what it is, what's happening, try and moderate and keep the discussion going somewhere, and also watch the time and just,
Well, for like the interview AMA, I don't necessarily know if we need speakers for that series, but we would definitely just have a host for that series, and then bring on.
Although, you know, like I just watched or listened to a podcast where the idea is that two new people, like, what was it? The last one I watched was Malcolm Gladwell interviewing like Alicia Keys, but like every week the interviewer and the interviewee is different, and they just both kind of like have a conversation and talk about both of their experiences as the interviewer, you know, has questions for the interviewee.
So in this case, I think the idea for host is like managing live stuff. So if we're doing a live AMA with somebody from the community, having somebody to do that while, you know, the speaker answers questions, or if the speakers get off topic, somebody to bring them back onto topic, somebody to do announcements, that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily their job to promote conversation.
Yeah.
Or be a part of conversation, rather.
Well, because ideally the speakers will be able to they can promote the conversation themselves. But the speaker in that instance would have to be someone that doesn't add. They're just there to just be like.
Ideally, our speakers are passionate enough that they get off topic all the time.
Or
they start arguing all the time.
That's good.
Yeah.
When it's genuine like that, that's real. I think that's a good sign. And I think we have that with these topics and just knowing everyone. Then with, conversations can get passionate.
Yeah.
Or heated. Alrighty. Alright, looks like we have a solid list of things. I guess, what are the first few we want to record and try and get out in the next probably week? So I don't know, again, also, how frequently do we want to be putting something out?
Once or twice a week. Once a week is manageable. Twice a week might be a bit of a strain as far as like getting new content, editing, and perhaps unsustainable in the long run. Initially, you know, 1 to 2 a week would be nice, especially for these early weeks, to get that sort of backlog available for people to look at. So maybe like doing a month to a week to kind of push out content would be my thought. And then going to once a week after that.
We could reserve like the twice a weeks for like where we do have part 1, part 2 things we can really, because and ideally part 1, part 2 we can record in pretty much one session. We just put a break in the middle and record all of it, and then we can release it on like a Monday, Thursday, whatever we choose to do.
Yeah.
Because I agree, having a backlog would be good. So like we make a couple videos, They're like, here's our new video, and check out our channel.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely want to record. It'd be nice to get 4 episodes done over the weekend. I think, I don't know if that's an attainable goal, but
Mhm.
that is like a goal to have, 4 videos recorded. And then if we can push out, 2 next week and then 2 the week after, that'll give us a 4-week lead time to start scheduling some interviews, to start scheduling, recording dates further out. Plus, it'll give us a buffer. So I think at all times we should aim to have a 1 to 2 week buffer of videos stocked up.
That works. Y'all need to subscribe though. We only have 3 subscribers.
Subscribe, like, and comment to our videos.
We also need a backing theme to our channel.
Be very
wait, no,
careful
we
about
don't.
copywriting, but is anybody that into music? I don't know.
Oh wait, no, I was meaning like the photograph, not the I just used whatever we video had.
I mean, that could change based on the topic at hand also. As the editor, Austin, I think it's up to you to decide how far you want to go with these graphics, especially for these initial episodes. You can always get more fancy with them as you learn how to use the video software.
Yes.
But
right now we have enough we pretty much have a good foundation, and we have a frame to work off of right now.
Yes.
But should we have an intro song?
I think that's a goal. Because we need to find something that's either public domain or make something entirely our own.
Bryce plays the sax. Dang.
And you play the drums.
You can't have an intro drum solo. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, but you can record our
Okay. Bringing us back, because keep in mind we are still recording our meeting at the moment.
Fair.
Okay, so Bree and I will work out. Okay, so I guess are there any topics at the moment that what should be recorded first? I think we should do something space related.
I agree. I do want to reach out to Cash before we start deciding that, because I want to know which topics he's specifically interested in. Because he I think is one of our voices in that. Plus, if we do space law before orbital, I'm looking at orbital debris mitigation. That has 2 people signed up already. Pros and cons of level certs, and then rocket reacts to rocket fails.
I think that one might be something we better do, like where we can actually get together in a room and like actually record, like record ourselves.
Well, I would.
Instead of just having the audio of us reacting, or like just having the audio played over the video of whatever.
So I would run it more as an analysis. Like, this is stemming off of my idea to have one of the PowerPoints be on the Dude Perfect rocket video.
Oh, okay, I see. So like we can steal clips from it and then
run an analysis on it. What happened, etc., etc. What do we think could have mitigated that problem? Sort of like hey, here's some ideas. Write in the comments down below. Are we wrong? How wrong were we? Good job.
Okay, I like that. That's doable. That's easy. Okay, that's easy enough to do.
Yeah, plus that's one of the things that we can always throw out whenever we have a spot we can't fill. Same with AMAs can also sort of fill that, but we want to do that in a timely manner to respect the interviewee. Looking at the space videos though, orbital debris mitigation. Gwen, you said something about space law needing to precede that.
Afterwards, actually, I've been doing a lot of research on it, and I finally got to like talk to a bunch of scientists about why people aren't taking care of it, and it just comes down to politics and like zoning and all that stuff. So I figured it might be appropriate, but not necessary.
So in conjunction, like, would you be willing to do Space Law with Logan as like a 2-part series with
Yeah,
them?
totally.
Okay. So why don't we put you down for that too? And that could, assuming Logan's free on Sunday, be something that we maybe record?
Yeah, we can try to do them like back to back if possible.
Logan?
Yeah.
I would like to do a little bit of research first.
Mhm.
Same, yeah. I'm definitely gonna brush up beforehand.
You have 48 hours notice.
Oh boy.
I also wanted to throw out, as far as like interviews go, when we were like on site at the NASA place, I know I keep bringing it up, but we met a lot of people and they're super hyped about like STEM engagement and everything. So we can absolutely get some like, we met like astrobiologists and like physicists or robotics people, and I'm sure they'd be happy to do like a 15-minute thing.
Yeah.
That would be super cool because getting people from industry and in a field is just awesome.
Exactly. I've been actively
gonna-
networking with like everyone I met while I was there just to.
I'm going to
Keep
add
that
in
close.
another table below for interviewees.
Okay.
And it'll just be like name, contact, and etc.
Specialty or something.
Yeah. And then whoever their contact is, like when you could interview some of the NASA people, Austin, you could interview Shirky, or we
Mhm.
could do somebody who's just into their topic. Like if we get Will.
Or the Glenda guy.
Glenda guy.
He seems, I will get his name because I will get his name. I want to say Bob or Robert, but I don't really know.
Yeah. Is Ryan Winslow Fly Falcons?
He is Fly Falcons, yes.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just, keep making a list of people and their contact info, their specialty. Let's add another topic for their contact person. So whoever is in charge of contacting them.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
anybody can
Bryce-
add to this list.
Yeah. I think we want to get you I want you in the loop because you are the outreach coordinator. Let's give. Is Bryce even here? Bryce is still AWOL.
He might be muted again.
He is not.
He was having mic problems
Oh,
last time around.
Bryce
Yeah.
is typing.
In announcements, use conversations, please.
Yes, please. Let's see. Where's Ryan? Ryan. Okay.
And then we'll get
Alright.
Ryan in on this as well if possible.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm totally happy to reach out to people, but if you guys could give me like kind of like topic ideas,
Well,
the interviews with people will be a little later down the road.
Okay, fair enough. Is it just about like their positions?
their specialties, anything, honestly, like, I know I want to bug Will about like what he learned for his doctorate, that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure people have cool stuff to talk about. I just don't know it exists yet because it's so cool and niche that, I'm not an expert in it.
Can we get Ross to talk about defibrillators?
So is this list mainly the people we know, or do we want to try to make contact with some other YouTubers who do rocket related stuff?
So
Well, that's Ryan Winslow.
That's about it. There's not. I mean, there is a couple other little channels that I found out there. Like Apogee could be one. I mean, Tim seems like an interesting gentleman.
Well, we've made contact with Ryan Winslow before, though, right?
Bree. I mean, Bree was at the RSO.
So
Tech
I've
event,
talked to
right?
him in person before. I have no doubt that he's completely forgotten me. But I've tried to keep up with him at every launch that he's been at that I've recognized. Like I asked him about Drago last time around. And I'm like, oh my god, is that the rocket that the YouTube video is about? And he's like, yeah, you watch the videos? Yeah. So I think he'd be perfectly friendly as far as like doing an AMA with us. But it would be nice if Bryce or Ryan, as our media coordinator and our outreach person, could research, what other people are out there as far as rockets go. I know that as far as the Dude Perfect videos go, there is a contact at NAR who not only let them use their launch site, which is on their personal land, but also who engineered the rockets that they got. And the Kato in the second video is actually not planned.
So I was curious about who
Oh,
the
no,
hell
okay.
gave
The Kato in the first video was not planned. The Kato in
Yeah.
the second video was made using movie explosives. And they
it
actually had
looked
like
a
a
little-
pyrotechnic people on site. And
it looked a little too planned.
yeah, it was definitely interesting. But it would be interesting to see that side of things, just sort of the production value of trying to like outreach for rocketry in general. That's sort of the topics that I personally am interested in.
All right, so cold outreaches to people we have not made contact with as a yes or no?
Yes, I would say yes. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to try and reach out. The one thing I do want to, one thing Joe Bernard, you know what? That's not a bad one. That's really not.
I know he's done AMAs before because he appeared on someone else's. Oh,
I think by the time we get to doing someone kind of big, that it might be good to have an established fan base.
He just got his level 2 not too long ago.
Yeah.
So.
It would also be interesting to talk to somebody who knows more about the Cesaroni explosion.
That, yeah. See, I don't know if that's a touchy topic, but that would be a good.
There seems to be enough information about it on the Rocketry forum that we might be able to get away with it. So, Bryce, are you alive?
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you now.
Oh my god. Technical difficulties all around.
It's okay.
Everyone's having some difficulties with their Discord today.
Yeah. So to sum up, if you have any more ideas, feel free to insert them at the bottom. If you have any ideas for people, feel free to reach out to them if you know them personally, or try to find their name or contact information and put it on there, and we'll ask Bryce or Ryan to reach out to them as their officer duties. And we'll reach out to the people who have put their names down for possibly recording and see about setting up recording dates. Please volunteer for recording if you have any interest in such topics. It'd be appreciated.
Or a knowledge base you have, or
yeah. Cool. All right, Austin, is there anything else on the agenda for today?
I guess I know apparel is something like around is and just creating some proofs of apparel. Just like hopping on a website, throwing our logo on some stuff, and just coming to us with some designs so that way we can discuss.
That might be a Bryce or Ryan thing as far as media and outreach goes. So perhaps we can try to assign that to them. Oh, Trixie, there was one thing I wanted to talk to you about after this.
All right.
That's it.
Bryce, would you be able to do that?
Do what exactly?
So pretty much just take our logo and come up with I would come up with just some proofs for apparel. So I know we wanted shirts, sweatshirts, and beanies. So pretty much just finding some different websites and so just putting together some different pricing options, how different things look, and just getting some information together about that for us. I mean, it doesn't have to be by next Friday. I mean, you can take a couple of weeks with it because I know the start of the quarter is next week.
You want beanies, sweatshirts, and shirts?
Yeah, those were the favorite 3 items of everyone. that when we first voted on it way back when.
Did you want any specific thing, or am I in charge of design of the shirt as well?
Just come up with some designs and what you think would look good, and then we'll bring it back in a week or two, and we'll take feedback on it.
If you have any materials by the officer meeting next Friday, we can do a preliminary like yay or nay. Also, if you need
Yeah.
any materials like the club logo or something, just let me know.
Okay, will do.
Alrighty. Unless anyone has any other comments or questions, or there's anything we didn't discuss that should have come up. Alrighty. That is going to conclude our meeting.
Okay.
Let's see.